hypnotic dance. She holds me here with only a glance. She's over me. She's over me. Hi, everybody. Well, how you guys doing tonight? Welcome to the Paranormal Portal. I'm your host, Brent Thomas. Hope you're having a great night. I'm trying to get my levels straight because I don't know. I've been tweaking with things because, ladies and gentlemen, I've been doing some sound investigating this afternoon, along with not only myself but our good friend and co-host, Mr. Don Longbeard. That's you, Don.
Hola.
Hola to you. ¿Qué pasa, amigo?
Hey, taco and cervezas. Yeah, whatever.
So we've been digging through a sound file, and we'll get into that in a few minutes here. But we had an anomaly on the show last night that was pretty interesting. So we'll get into that in just a few minutes. As I just said, being redundant seems to be my secret superpower. I can repeat the same thing over and over. But we are here, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome. Thank you all for being here with us this Wednesday Eve, this Hump Day. Hump Day's Eve.
Hump Day.
It is time to celebrate because it should be all downhill from here. Hopefully not the quality of the show, but the work week is what I was going with.
Okay. All righty.
Just to clarify that in case there was any misunderstanding as to what actually is going to be going downhill, it should be the work week. You're heading towards Friday. You're close. As such,
Aussie Tiger says it was a great day until you ended up 6 to 7 minutes late. We're on portal time.
Yeah, we just never. It's a time anomaly over here. I'm telling you guys. And sometimes even being on time is a struggle, especially when you're putting forth such quality entertainment. This is like a fine wine. It has to age
Entertainment
before you break the seal and let it breathe.
Please, somebody let me breathe.
In other words, it was just like, oh my God, it's time to get on the air. Oops.
Hey.
Yeah, it's just Don and I being Don and I.
Got to start the cameras.
Yeah, let's turn on lights and stuff, Don. Geez, time to get to work. And the moon is out of batteries again. So
no moon.
Yeah, none at all. So it's going to be a new moon up there on the wall until I get more batteries. So that's the new moon, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know if that's what kind
relevant?
Of moon? I mean, is that where we're at? I'm just curious.
The phase of the moon? Is that the new phase of the moon?
Right.
The no moon?
Yeah. Is that right though? Is it the new moon now? Or I don't know. Now I'm kind of curious if it's serendipitous that way. Like we're actually in the new moon.
Magion says if you leave it sit, it turns to vinegar. So
or Mogion. Yeah. Well, yeah. I don't know. Yes. You said Magion.
I did.
Yeah, but
I don't think he was talking to us though.
Yeah,
it just fit right into the conversation. If you leave it sit, it turns to vinegar.
Yeah, absolutely. So
that'd be
funny. Oh, okay. Okay. All right, I just got a message from a friend that I'll have to follow up on tomorrow.
Oh, sweet.
But, yeah, I mean, we are here and underway, ladies and gentlemen, so I'm sorry we're a little bit late, but...
It's not my fault.
No, I mean, it's just the way it rolls over here. Honest to God, when Don and I get together...
He was talking to us.
Ooh, okay, of course he was. Of course he was.
What's vinegar doing?
Because I was talking about letting it breathe, waiting for it to age, blah, blah, blah.
He was talking about
He was
wine.
Playing with my metaphor, Don.
Right, gotcha. Metaphor for wine.
All right, simile, metaphor, whatever it is. I think it's a metaphor, but whatever it is, that's what we are. We are a metaphor for entertainment. So anyway, guys, hope you guys are ready to go. The phone lines will be open throughout the night. If you got something paranormal of your very own you'd like to share, just feel free to call in. Be on the show with us and tell us your experience. That's always a fun thing, and it's something we love having conversations about this stuff with you guys as well. So with all of that in mind, and Barry's retracted statement. Not sure what he said, but he took it back.
I read it and I was like, what the hell is he trying to say?
Barry's editing in real time, so I'm not sure what's going to happen. But
well, he was talking about something about Duke and you doing bromance novels or something. I was like, I went back to look at it and went retracted. I'm like, oh. Well, okay, now I'm going to warp it to anything I want.
Yeah, now it's like a thank God. But welcome everybody that is here. Thank you so much for being here, everybody. And who is here, Don?
Oh,
let's do a roll call and then we'll do the intro.
Roll call participants. We have Annie M. That's a new name for me. Annie M. Hi, how are you?
Auntie M or
no, Annie?
Annie.
A-N-N-I-E-M.
Oh, nice. Okay, wonderful.
Annie M.
Welcome, Annie M.
There's Aussie Tiger. There's Barry, Mr. I take back whatever I just said. Contraband. That's kind of a new name to me. Ms. Deb Varner. Elaine's here. I am Pam. Elaine is here. Let's see. It jumped. Jessica Mink is here. Hi, Jess. Justin Goodearth. Lindsay Lewis. Marilena. Of course, Mog is here. Rotman and Tracy Benna and Mr. Duke of Bigfoot World Radio.
Or World
here.
Bigfoot Radio.
That's what I said.
You said Bigfoot World, but
I'm just like, I'm word lexic.
All right, so welcome everybody. Glad to have you all here. Did
Oscar
you say Lewis?
Huzar. Yeah. I said Lewis.
I didn't. I'm sorry. I wasn't really paying attention, but yeah. I guess that's the roll call.
Well, that's who's chatting at least. Oh, Naysay just popped in. Hi, Naysay.
Naysay, welcome. Good to see you guys. I guess we can go into the first before I go into the intro. I just want to on the record apologize.
Oh,
last night it came to my attention that I might have offended somebody or some people, and that was never my intention. Whenever I'm picking apart stories, guys, I'm doing these shows in real time. There's no script. This is just me with a camera and a microphone and lots of random stories that I find through the internet on the night terrors that I think you guys will want to hear. Now, every once in a while, I'll stumble onto a story and be like, oh, wait, this is weird. This doesn't seem quite right. And I'll start asking questions. And it's just me thinking out loud into a microphone right out to you guys. And
he's
so
a rambling man.
my intent, now the story in question had to do with a woman who allegedly is psychic and had made a real connection with this child spirit in a barn and was having a dialogue with the child spirit. Now the dialogue was just like, it was like an interview. It was just like I said, they said, I said, they said, I said, they said. And I'm like, my intention was with that is like, is that how it works? Is that really what happens? I don't know if that's really true, if that could be true, et cetera, et cetera. Now, there was kind of a weird anomaly that accompanied that in that I was asking all these questions and kind of challenging the whole idea that maybe what I read was a piece of creative writing rather than an actual event that happened. Right. And then my browser froze up completely. Now I have a lot of stuff open, as Don can attest. I got stuff everywhere, so it could just be glitchy. I mean, I'm asking a lot of my computer every show. I'm asking a whole lot of it, but it locked up there, and it was like it wouldn't do anything, and nothing responded. I couldn't open or close or anything, and I was like, okay, it's real. That story was real, and then boom, it unfroze just like that, which was funny. I thought that was.
So you think? So it was like, oh, you're saying it wasn't real? Yeah. So watch this, buddy.
Yeah, exactly. It was another one of the live audience that's always here on the portal.
Yes,
the ones that are intangible.
Yeah, the ones just putting on the holding the hard drive still until you you say yes, I admit it. You're true.
Yeah. Then it went perfectly just like that. But I guess those statements might have offended somebody, and that was never my intention, and it never will be on the show. Anybody who's watched the show for any period of time, I hope you understand that I'm always asking questions. I'm always asking. To try to understand these things. And it's not like I'm expecting any answers, but I always ask the questions, and it's just part of my dialogue. So just for whatever it's worth, if anybody felt offended by anything like that, I do apologize. That's never my intention. So, but anyway, with that in mind and that being verbally out there in the ethers. I guess we're all set, Don. You feel like you're ready?
Sure.
All right, guys, hang on because we're going in. All right, and love you too, Lindsay. Thank you so much. That was very sweet. She says, we understand and we love you for you, Brent. I appreciate that. That's really sweet. So I guess moving forward, let's talk a little bit about last night's show. I just did a little bit in that first part, but last night's show was weird. It was weird, Don.
How weird was it?
It was so weird that even Weird said, hey, that's weird.
Hey.
I don't even know if that makes sense. But it was really strange. It was a weird night. And at the end of the show, I was saying a sentence. And suddenly I had another voice in my headphones talking back to me. I'm like, wait a minute. I just swear I heard another voice. This is really strange. So I asked the audience if they heard anything, and some people said, yeah, I heard something. Not sure what it was, but there was something there. Some people didn't hear anything. So I went back and I posted the information on the Facebook, and some people listened to it and said, yeah, that is really strange. That's really odd. They were able to hear it, jam it way louder with their headphones and stuff. But essentially, and here's the thing, is it an EVP? Did we capture an EVP last night? So I have the show pulled up. Here it is. Okay. No, this is not it. This is the other one. It's this one. Yeah.
Welcome to 42 tabs open in one window with 5 other windows with 42 more.
I know. It's like I should have a Guinness Book of Record or something going on here.
Man has the most
prolifically tabbed broadcast ever. All right. So here is the video. I'm going to put it up on screen now. And I want you guys to see this. Now, the point in question happens at 55 minutes, 29 seconds. And if you have headphones and you're listening, I don't know, be careful because whatever this anomaly is, it's quite a bit under my voice. However, at the time, it was really quite a bit louder in my ears and my headphones as we were broadcasting, but the actual recorded version of it is much more subtle. But I'm going to try to cue this up as closely as I can so you can see in the episode where is the remark in question. So, all right, let's see. This is 22. That's pretty close. So it's going to be a little loud right off the start, but listen after I say the words, Don will be here. And I got to push play. Sorry. Let go quite yet. We're getting closer though. But anyway, I hope you guys have a wonderful day tomorrow. Thank you. Don will be here tomorrow. Did you hear it? Did you hear that?
Yep.
I heard another voice. Let's do it again. I enjoy doing these shows all the time. Again, there's lots of announcements coming up for the portal, but nothing as of yet that I can let go quite yet. We're getting closer though. But anyway, I hope you guys have a wonderful day tomorrow. Thank you. Don will be here tomorrow. There it was again. And one more time. I heard another voice. This one's coming up for the portal, but nothing as of yet that I can let go quite yet. We're getting closer though. But anyway, I hope you guys have a wonderful day tomorrow. Thank you. Don will be here tomorrow. Okay, so I'm curious if you guys are hearing it now, those of you that are listening to us live, because I can only ask you guys. I guess the other people will be watching at some other time. But if you did hear that, in that break there, after I say here, then there's so I say it like this, Don will be here, and then it's like here.
Yeah, it's just
like that.
One
it's
word.
A really abrupt here. So it's not just an audio echo somehow, because it's actually delivered really quick and abrupt. My here is more like Don will be here, but the here is the anomaly is like here, just like that. Now I did break that down and I pulled it out, and I have a few. Oh, I got the chat up here. Sorry. I'm still on full screen, but I did break it out into some Audacity files. I broke out
Well,
Audacity.
don't you have the Audacity?
I have a lot of Audacity. Now here's the actual anomaly that you can see. I'm gonna zoom into this. Is it this one done?
You
That'll
can
make it bigger. This
control
one. I could, but yeah,
Okay,
we're talking
so,
about
yeah,
me
there you
here. Where is it now? Let me see.
That's the whole thing.
5529. So it's going to be right in here. Is where
That's it, right? I think it's either that or that. I think it's that one because you.
I did boost it though, didn't I?
That's the breath. Yeah.
Okay. So you think I should probably not use the boosted one, huh?
I would go ahead.
Okay, let's
For now.
All right, let's hear what it sounds like
So
here.
hear what the enhanced one sounds like.
All right, here we go. But anyway, I hope you guys have a wonderful day tomorrow. Thank you. Don will be here tomorrow. There it is again. Yeah, and it's just right there.
Another voice.
Now, that again, let me just play that again. This is the sound file. Let me zoom really into that, though. I want to really, where the hell did it go? Oops. Let me zoom back out and see where the
Okay, so click on it where it is.
55
Right there.
here,
Click
right
there.
here.
Right
Okay.
there. Now zoom in.
Okay, now I want to zoom into this. So I do this.
Yeah.
Is this the one?
That'll do.
Okay. All right. So here's the actual anomaly here, I think. Here tomorrow. Yes.
Yes.
Okay. And again,
I heard another voice.
Don will be here tomorrow. All right. I want to stop that and I want to zoom into that some more. So right
click-
about here.
Yeah, click there and zoom in.
Let me zoom way in. And you can actually see it has. Jesus.
It's all by itself.
Is this it?
No, this is it.
This is it? Are you sure? Okay.
Almost. Just play it.
Yeah, that is it. So this is it. Tomorrow.
Oh, no, it
No,
wasn't.
I was a little too soon. Sorry.
I heard another voice.
Tomorrow. Nope, I did it wrong. Sorry, guys.
Go back to.
Go back to.
Go
Boom.
back to. One
Boom.
more.
Here? This thing? Or is that tomorrow?
No,
This
that's
is
tomorrow.
it right here.
That's tomorrow. Yeah.
This is.
Go back again.
Oh, a little more. Sorry, guys. I thought I had this all ready to go. So this should be the word here when I'm saying it. And this is the weird anomaly word. So here tomorrow. So there it is. Yep. Again. Oh,
I
shit.
heard another voice.
Tomorrow. So you can hear that. It goes here tomorrow. And because I said Don will be here tomorrow, like that. And in between there's the here. Now, I did also blow that up, ladies and gentlemen, in Audacity with Don's help, because Don is kind of our studio engineer here on the portal. So here is the actual sound file.
It's just that it's so out of context. There's not a whole lot to hear, but it's just literally here, just that
Yes.
quick.
It's just here.
Yeah.
So that is what we encountered last night. Now, is it for sure an EVP? No, I can't be sure. Realize that we're dealing with a lot of electronics here. There's a mixing board, a computer, a power amp, headphones, the internet, along with a myriad of things that are connected here in this.
4,000 open tabs.
Yeah. A few open tabs. I'm not going to go with 4,000, but there's a few. And the point being, is it possible that it's just some glitch? For sure it is. It must be. But the weirdness of it is that could it be an EVP? Now, I did just say the word here. And then it was here, just like that. That's the only voice that I noticed last night. I didn't ever catch anything else. There was, it was a strange night here anyway on the show, but that I thought was really pretty profound. So that's right here on the show. What do you guys think? Do you think that could be an EVP? Do you think it's just some kind of glitch? Let me know. I'd like to know your thoughts about this, because this is a paranormal show. We've experienced a lot of weird things because it's a paranormal show. I think by virtue of talking about the paranormal, we've got a good shot of actually calling something in, because we're always talking about it. We're, putting thought into it. We're,
Right.
anytime you verbalize something, it has energy and it's
I wonder
manifested.
if Kate just popped in. Can you play the other one first? Or just one more time?
The big one?
Yeah, where you say, Don will be here.
Okay, and the bigger file
Yeah,
here?
just right there. Yeah, in that one.
Let me zoom out one more though.
Let him hear what he's... Listen,
Okay.
Cade.
Listen to this, Cade. We think we caught an EVP on the show last night.
Maybe. I wasn't here.
I'll be here tomorrow again. What the hell was that?
Just
I heard
hit play
another voice.
again.
Huh?
Just hit play again.
I did. Tomorrow. There. Tomorrow. You hear that? Here. Tomorrow. Because I say, I don't know like that it's chopping it like that though. Let me get a little more of my voice.
More. There you go.
So I'm going to start from like here.
Perfect.
Okay. So let's do this. Be here tomorrow. Be here tomorrow. Be here tomorrow. So again,
so right before he says tomorrow, it says here.
There's another voice in there that's very abrupt. So it's not like just an echo.
Right.
Because when I say it, I said, Don will be here. But the here that comes through is here.
It's more compressed.
And abrupt. Yeah.
Abrupt, yeah.
Yeah.
And it doesn't have any of the lead in, Don will be here. It just has here.
Yeah, it's absolutely isolated. So very interesting. One more time. Be here tomorrow. Be here tomorrow. Be here tomorrow. Yeah.
It sounds like a pre-echo to the word tomorrow.
Yeah, if there could be such a thing, yeah.
Well, you never know.
Because that was just in real time. I mean, that was being recorded as it happened. So now the curious part is, if it is just a glitch, why just that one time? Why didn't it do that throughout the show? Was there something happening at that moment that would explain it? No, I was just getting ready to close the show. It's right on the tail end. So, Mr. Cade, if you have an opinion, love to hear it. But I'm kind of thinking it might just be an EVP. But why the word here? It doesn't really say anything. It doesn't even have any purpose. It's not like, hey, help, no. It's not like you suck. It's just here. Just somebody.
I personally think it's just an artifact somehow got up in there and bounced around.
That's interesting. I'd be curious as to what you all think. Has the chat room weighed in at all?
Some people heard the word here. Some people heard the word deer, but that's not surprising there.
Sure. I mean, it could be. It could be any word that sounds like here.
Exactly.
It's so abrupt, it's hard to make out exactly what it is.
But when you hear it in the context of Don will be here, it makes sense that it's the word here.
Yeah.
So people have heard it. People did hear it. I don't know. I haven't seen anybody say, yeah, that's definitely an EVP. Or, that I feel that's an EVP, because I don't. I don't feel it's an EVP. But that's just me.
But that's your role.
That's right. That's how I roll.
That's Don's role on the portal. He's the skeptic. But no, I think it is very curious. I can't make any claims for sure, ladies and gentlemen, but it is an anomaly, and I did want to point it out to you because, weird things happen. Why did that happen? I have no idea. Absolutely none. It just really is quite perplexing, but it's nonetheless really what happened.
It doesn't detract from the point
right.
that it did happen.
It actually did happen. I don't know why it happened. I don't know why one word. I don't know what purpose echoing one of my words means, but...
Did you hear that?
I did.
Did you hear that? It just said means.
Did it really?
It did. It did.
I heard
just
something.
did it. It just did it again. You said, I don't know what that means, and it goes means, and then I started you started talking again. I swear to God, it just happened.
I heard something in my ear going eek, like that, but I didn't know.
It said means.
What the hell is going on? I don't know, ladies and gentlemen. This is the portal. I don't know. I don't have any explanation for if there is some weird echoing going on. I don't know why. There are no effects used. This is all dry mics, so it's...
We're very dry.
We're very dry. Yeah, we are. But I just wanted to take a moment to lay that all out for you, to let you guys check it out. See what you guys think, because I think...
Ooh.
What?
Cade says, I recorded a growl on episode 9...
nice.
Season 6, 9 or 10. He says, "Oh, maybe it's a split episode, so it's 9 and 10 are the same, or two parts of the same." So, wow. Well, then, Cade, you're gonna have to send it to me because I can't wait that long. Well, we're only on episode 2, season 6. You can't tease like that. You can't tease 6 weeks ahead.
Either that, or you got to give some people the VIP previews. We need some VIP previews up in here, Cade.
Oh no! Oh, it's the haunted doll episode. Well, and I've been waiting for that one. So yeah.
Well, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. Now, I'm just, again, I'm glad Deb's here, because if there's anything funky going on, she can pick up on it for us. But Brent is synthesizing sound waves. No, I have no sense connected to this. My recording PC is on the other side of the studio,
And it's
actually
not connected to
turned
the main,
off,
is
and
it?
it's
Yeah.
not connected in any way to this setup here. This is just for production.
I don't necessarily think that's what that was meant, but
Oh, okay. I don't know. I'm just reading stuff as we go here because I just want to make sure. You know, it's and ladies and gentlemen, I will never do things for sensationalizing the show. I never will.
we don't have to. We're goofy enough.
The fact that we have a show is already sensational.
Yeah, no doubt. That is the truth.
So, very interesting though. But just for whatever you think. Did Kate ever weigh in on what he thinks that was?
No, not yet. That I've
Oh,
seen,
he's
yeah.
being evasive.
No, I think he's gonna. I don't know,
Oh, okay.
but he's the technical guy. He'll go.
He
He'll go
is.
and he'll go. Okay, well, I'll take this. And
Well, I can send you the waveform, all of it that I have, and if you want to see what you can pull up, but that's what we could do with Audacity, ladies and gentlemen.
he's a
So-
much better sound engineer than I am.
yeah, well, I don't know. I mean, he's definitely very good.
She meant with telekinesis, bro.
Oh,
Synthesizing with
telekinesis.
telekinesis.
Huh. Well, I'll keep trying and see if I can continue to do it. Maybe
You
I
just
am.
did it just a second ago with the
I
word mean.
I
I don't know what that mean.
yeah.
Check it out.
I'm sure. So, what's the timestamp on that?
I have no idea because I can't find a timestamp on it.
Well, look at the clock. So, where's it about? We're already at like 7:30 going over this, but
Are
I mean,
you
it's real.
seriously?
Yeah.
Well, we were 6 minutes late though.
Well, so okay.
We were only 30 seconds late
with
tonight.
telekinesis.
Yes.
Absolutely. Well, anything is possible, ladies and gentlemen, but it's just more of the weirdness going on. And I don't mind this kind of stuff. That kind of stuff has never really
Brent the
disturbed
sound
me.
wave bender.
I'm a sound bender. Oh, I can't even go as far with that as I would like. But I'm a scanner, Barry says. Yeah, you never know. I haven't made anybody's heads explode so far, Barry, so I'm
Some days you try.
Well, there's a couple of people, let me tell you. I'd blow them up like a damn balloon.
If you could really blow somebody's mind, I'd like to.
We do all our mind blowing right here live on the show, ladies and gentlemen, because it's nothing but interesting here.
That's true. That's true.
So there it is, ladies and gentlemen. Let me know, weigh in into the comments or right here in the chat if you want. Brent is using the Force. Yeah,
Yes.
that's me, Jess.
Use the Force, Brent. Use the Force.
I'm a Jedi. I'm a Jedi. All right, so let's continue on with our show. That's the first part. I wanted to go over that because, of course, I tell you guys, I like your stories and I like my stories. And when something happens when we're doing a show, that to me is our story. Right. So it's something anomalous. And again, I'm not making any solid claims. I don't know. I just don't know. I don't know what would create it. If it isn't paranormal, I don't have an explanation for it, but it is what it is. So if you guys figure out anything else or have any other input on it, I'd love to hear from you. If you don't want to say it in the chat or on the comments, just email us. paranormalportalradio@gmail.com. But we do have a phone call.
We do.
This is, I believe, Mr. Naysay himself.
Oh.
But it may not be. This is area code 701. You're on the air.
Hello, and hi.
Oh, my.
It certainly is.
It is, Mr. Naysay.
Mystery solved.
It is me, and thank you so much for the hospitality of letting me be with me, and it's wonderful. Is it possible that I could inconvenience you now that I got my earbuds in really tight for you to play that again?
Sure. I think I can. Are you all
Forgive
set?
me for my ego if it is. I have really good hearing.
You do, because, of course,
It
you're
just
being...
echoed again.
It did, didn't it?
It did. You do.
I don't know. Maybe there is some glitch going on here. I don't understand how it's happening if it is. Where the hell is it? I got, too many things open again. Well, this is the one, but here's...
And I apologize for my refrigerator in the background. It all of a sudden started acting up too, just as I called in.
So is your refrigerator running? Because I'll vote for it.
Donald vote for it.
No,
Oh, here it is.
even my refrigerator is crippled. It's rolling.
Ooh. All right, so I think I got it all. I think I got it all ready here.
Okay.
So
Here we go.
hold on, let me get it zoomed in a little bit more.
That looks about right.
Okay, so I'm going to start it. Are you ready, Naysay?
Okay, listen hard.
Oh, it's ready.
Okay, here it goes. Be here tomorrow. Can you hear that? I heard another voice.
Play it again.
This is a weird night.
Oh, just hit play.
Oh, it's only playing that
Yeah, now it's just playing that part. So go
that
back.
white part. Naysay, can you hear that though? Because I don't know if it'll come through the Skype.
Oh, actually, I can't.
Okay, he's
okay.
not
Can
here
you
yet.
play it three
Yeah.
times in a row?
Yeah, but I mean, if you'd have to listen through your computer, not through the phone, because you're listening through a Skype connection, and Skype doesn't play my desktop noises. It won't broadcast
Oh,
those.
so
Yeah.
we're calling into Skype. I get it.
Yes. Yep.
Well, I'll try to go. I'll try to check it out after the show,
Okay.
Okay.
and I'll go back and put my earbuds in tight, because what I got from it is a quicker but almost the same fluctuation of the word here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. That's what we were hearing too. Like it's really quick and abrupt.
Right.
Like here, like that. Okay.
Yes,
Mhm.
exactly. Like it was almost instantaneously, and almost I thought I could hear within the word here you saying Don is going to be here.
Oh my God. Well,
Tomorrow Don is going to be here.
yeah, I definitely didn't catch that. That would be. I mean, then it for sure would be a technical glitch. You know, it's of some kind
Right.
if it's compressing all of that together, which maybe is. I'm certainly not ruling out that possibility, but yeah, unfortunately, I can't put it through the phone system. It just occurred to me. So, but yeah, check it out and let me know,
Right.
brother.
Well, one of the reasons why I wanted to call you is today I had the wonderful opportunity to hang out with my younger brother.
Oh, nice.
And through our conversation, he brought me back a ghost story.
Oh, very cool. Well, by all means, tell me.
And I do not remember if I've ever shared this one with you, but I know I've shared with the audience a few times as a younger child, until it was, I would say, about like the age of 12.
Mm-hmm.
From the age of 12 to about 18, I had very few metaphysical or paranormal occurrences.
Okay.
And I don't know if it was the whole pubescence, and once I realized that women are so incredibly wonderful, I had nothing else on my mind as a young prepubescent boy. So maybe not.
Okay.
But the story goes in Detroit Lakes, in my grandparents' home. They had a 2-story home, and they lived on the top floor. While we were there, my mother and father and grandmother and grandfather went out to a polka bar to go do some polka dancing.
Nice.
And we were there with one of my grandparents. They were foster parents, and they had over 43 children go through their home in a 50-year period.
That's awesome.
And a girl by the name of Carol. Oh, now I hear echoing.
No, I don't hear that.
Okay, anyway. But so Carol was there with us, and I believe we were watching The Legend of Hill House. Do you remember that not Boris Karloff, Vincent Price, I think it was.
No.
An old creepy movie. I think it was called The Legend of Hill House.
Okay.
And in it was talking about poltergeist and ghosts and kind of demonic entities.
Okay.
And at the end of it, the movie was over. My brother was kind of creeped out about it, and we started talking about ghosts. And then I said, "Yeah, I believe in ghosts. There's one right there." And she was like, "What?" I'm like, "Right there in the corner, there's a ghost." And they're like, "Stop it." My brother was. He's like, "Stop it, Kevin." And I'm like, "No, right there." And they're both like making fun of me.
Uh-huh.
And I said something to the effect of, "Can you show yourself, or can you make yourself known?"
Mm-hmm.
And the curtain, the big, these is when they had the big, huge picture windows,
Uh-huh.
and they had the big floor to ceiling almost curtain.
Sure.
The curtain shifted like 2 feet,
Oh.
and she screamed, then I screamed, and then my brother screamed, and she grabbed us all, and she rushed us into her bedroom and shut the door
Oh.
and stayed in the bedroom until everybody came back home. And I don't remember, but she told us to stay in the room, and she was going to go out to make sure it was them. Because at first she because there was a porch that went around the entire front of the house. When you went up the stairs on the side, there was a porch that went the entire length of the front of the house, so you could sit on a porch and see the lake below. But there's no way you can touch the curtain from outside.
Oh.
And so I remembered that this afternoon because me and my brother were talking about the paranormal and about do you believe in ghosts, and we talked about Grandpa and Grandma's house and how it was creepy because our grandmother, I would say my foster grandmother was sensitive.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
And I can give you many examples of I mean, just for one example, my partner at the time, my grandmother said, "You're pregnant."
Oh.
And my partner is like, "No, I can't be pregnant." She's like, "Trust me, dear, you're pregnant."
Oh boy.
And 2 days later, my partner took a pregnancy test, and she's like, "Your grandma was right." And my grandma had this ability to, when you talk to her, she could mimic back to you almost exactly at the same rate that you're talking. And she would say, "Test me." And you would try to talk to her, and she would repeat, no matter what you said, she could repeat back to exactly what you were saying, and almost like an echo.
Oh, wow.
And she used to do it to irritate you sometimes.
Okay.
You know, but yeah, so that reminded me of this occurrence yesterday. And one thing that also has been occurring, I don't know if you remember, do you remember when I was telling you about when I get stressed out and I used to have that entity down in the Twin Cities
Yes.
that I felt would turn on the water?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, guess what's happening in my home again?
No.
My water in the kitchen that I cannot reach. I cannot reach the spigot because I'm in my wheelchair,
Right.
and I can barely get my fingertips on the spigot to turn it on. And it's one of those ones you have to tilt back
Oh,
and
sure.
push away from you.
Okay.
And for the last 3 nights, the last 2 nights, because there was one night in between, my water, I've woken up to hearing my water running, and not just like a couple drips and stuff, but like it creeped me out a couple times. Like I was like, "Hello," because it sounded like someone was in my home and turned the water on.
Oh, man.
And then it just stopped. But they didn't turn it on like a full, like a full stream.
Okay.
But it was enough to trickle, and you could hear if there was any dishes that. Oh, I just got goosebumps. Because you got to understand the amount of how you have to just let go, being blind.
Oh,
When you're in your home, when you're in your own home, and you just got to let go, because sometimes in my home I can hear the floor creaking, where like it would creak when there's weight on it.
Mm-hmm.
And me and Deb have talked about this a couple times.
Sure.
And I do feel I never have felt threatened.
Okay. So it doesn't feel negative. It's just a presence.
Right. And forgive me if this is my ego also, but I ward up, I share this a lot with the audience, do your intentions, do what you think will help you protect yourself. We lock our doors at night. We lock our windows. Mm-hmm. So on a spiritual realm, why would you not also want to protect yourself?
Right.
What's the worst it can do than to take a few moments and physically put the intentions that you protect yourself with a shield of energy, or or try to emit it further away from your entity to where it's shielding your home.
Mm-hmm.
And if you feel the necessities to utilize tools, you can burn sage, you can burn sweetgrass, whatever modalities that you find that support your potential of increasing your energy,
Mm-hmm.
then utilize those tools.
Right.
What's the worst it can do?
Well, sure. Yeah. I mean, it's just a good, if you feel like you've got something around, and here's the thing. I think that there's always something around. I don't think we realize how much is out there. I think that there's a lot of spirits probably everywhere. There's so many people in this planet, and not I don't know how many of them are just locked in place, but if they can just wander and do what they want, I mean, my God, they could be anywhere at any time. Now, I don't think that most spirits are nefarious and trying to cause trouble, but what if? Because there are some that do. So I think it's great advice just to be prepared or protected. Whether through your religion or through a ritual of some kind, whatever. It certainly can't hurt.
Oh, absolutely. And, we prove it time and time again that we have the ability to manipulate fields. And I'd like to say we've proved it here on the Paranormal Portal that our intentions, and with the technological advanced state that we're in, where we utilize these smart and mobile devices to connect, where we're connecting on a real physical plane,
Mm-hmm.
although it's called radio wave frequencies. But
Sure.
we're connected.
Right.
And it's unfortunate that we need to utilize these devices to connect to each other instead of just utilizing crystals. Research crystal radios. I strongly suggest you research the old crystal quartz radios. And if you really want to make some spirit boxes, there's some little alterations that need to be made with these old radio boxes, because as we talk about the veils shifting,
Mm-hmm.
it is a wonderful opportunity to utilize those, to notice those shifts.
Right.
And this may be my conspiracy theory, but I believe the reason why we went from analog to digital is because on the old devices like electromagnetic tape, that these entities are utilizing the old electromagnetic waves for contacting us,
Sure.
and they would rather us being caught up in digital, so we don't have that, because there's a total difference
Yeah.
in the way that electromagnetic tape utilizes receiving and sending data, zeros and ones.
Yep, I would agree. There's many investigators that still use tape instead of Digital, yeah, for that very reason. They think that since it's believed spirits are electromagnetic, that probably is the best way to record EVPs and such. And a lot of them use traditional film cameras as well. There is a correlation between, as far as orbs in photography and the amazing rise in orbs in photography. It correlates almost exactly with the use of digital cameras. In other words, there's probably some quirk in digital cameras that may give the orbs. And I'm not saying that it proves them. I'm very skeptical of orbs in photos. I really am, and that's just me. Everybody has their own opinion, but I think that there's something with the digital sensors, the CMOS sensors, that is creating these orbs as an artifact for some reason that wouldn't have happened in film cameras.
Well, one thing that I've realized, because I was in high school, I was on the yearbook team, so I was fascinated with photography, and I used to develop my own film.
Mm-hmm.
And so I still listen to people talk about the new cameras that are put out there.
Sure.
But these lenses now that are being put out are so spectacularly advanced that if you think about breaking down and quantifying a picture by the little pixel, they're incredible.
Sure.
And especially like if you look at the smallest camera now is as big as a grain of rice
Okay.
that they can put in your digestive system to take pictures as it goes through, and it can send and receive the images.
Yeah.
But these new cameras and the way that these lenses are made, they are seeing a fuller spectrum of light that we can't with our eyes, because our consciousness will not allow a full spectrum of what we're seeing.
Right.
Because the claim that I've read or researched is that Occam's razor denotes that we cannot handle everything that our eyes see.
Yes.
Which is bizarre to think that.
I just got a comment in the chat room saying that that orbs are real, and I have no doubt that orbs are real. That there are real orbs. Don't get me wrong. I've seen orbs 2 times with my naked eye, so I have no doubt that there are orbs. But I think that the newer cameras probably create a lot more false positives as far as that's concerned. Perhaps it's maybe like you're saying, maybe it's given us more of the light frequencies than our old film cameras did. But I don't know. The jury is still out for me on a lot of these orb photos, and I think that a lot of them are just anomalies that weren't really noticed at the time when taking the picture. But when you add a flash and that ultra sensitive sensor, a lot of things can appear on that capture that maybe weren't. Maybe they're being falsely interpreted.
Right.
Is my point.
Misinterpreted.
Misinterpreted. Yeah, I don't mean falsely, because I don't want to accuse anybody of trying to put out a bunch of crap. I think people really believe it, and I'm not saying there are no orbs in photos. I believe there are, and I've seen
there's far less than what.
Yeah, I don't think they're quite as common as some people would like to represent. So that's just my 2 cents, and I could be completely wrong. So go ahead.
Well, I mean, we could easily, if I may humbly suggest that we do an experiment right now, that everybody that has, because of our connections, because of our intentions, if we signify for these orbs to visit us at these moments now, if we were all to take our mobile devices, our smartphones, and point them up to the ceiling and take a picture within the next few precious moments, because these orbs are manifesting right now as we speak, because they listen to our intentions, then submit them to Brent and Don and see what happens.
Yeah, if you guys want to do that, do an experiment, see if you get some orbs. I'd love to see the photos. And again, I'm not opposed to that they can really be captured, but I'm just I'm not so sure that there's quite as many as some people would like to represent. But again, that's just me. I'm not saying that it couldn't be, but cool, brother. Thanks for calling in, man. It's good to hear from you.
It's good to hear you, and thank you for being the magic you are. And Don, thank you for all the prestidigitation.
I do my magic as well as I can.
He's a prestidigitator, all right.
Press the buttonator.
You can hear him prestidigitating over there in the chat room. It sounds like hammers.
I love you all. Have a beautiful evening. Toodles.
All right, good night, Nace.
Bye, Nace.
That's good to hear from him.
Okay, so I took a few pictures while he was talking, and by the way, hi Nessie. I haven't ignored you. I just didn't see you in the chat thing. But anyhow, so I took a few pictures, and I don't see anything.
Okay.
I
was busy talking on the horn there. So.
Yes, I understand.
So I didn't take any pictures, but I'm not meaning to imply that there's no such thing as valid orbs in photography. I do believe there are, but I think that a lot of people may not be having
discerning.
Well, maybe they just don't have the information. I think a lot of us with our point and click devices, I mean, it used to be to take a photo, you had to have a pretty working knowledge of how a camera works and what you need and what you don't need. But we have these automated cameras that do everything. You just point and click. And I don't think people are aware of how light can interact with artifacts in the air like dust and other anomalies. How even a stray hair too close to the lens can illuminate and look like a smoky, twisting, depending on the hair.
Right.
But you have to be careful because, or any kind of precipitation in the air like fog can, if it's close to the camera, can create the little droplets of water can create these orb like manifestations, or rain or snow. I've taken many photos with my DSLR, my professional DSLR camera, and I've gotten lots of orbs, especially when it's sprinkling or snowing.
Right.
I've gotten them off of lens flares, a reflective object in the scene that I hadn't noticed at the time of taking the picture, but then all of a sudden there's an orb and you start looking, it's like, well, there's the lens flare from that metal, belt buckle or a boot or something
Right.
that you didn't really notice. So, I mean, there's lots of reasons that things could mimic an orb in a photo. And and that's my point, is that I just think there needs to be some discernment in those, because, if you're going to represent something as proof, you got to be willing to take some on the chin, because some people are just ravenous about it.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
oh, they're just mean as hell about it. Like, oh, I can't believe you're wasting, that's 5 minutes. I'll never get back. Like
Yeah, exactly.
their time is so precious because they're on YouTube anyway. Well, what were you thinking?
Yeah, no doubt, yeah. I was just surfing around and I came across you guys and I couldn't believe I wasted 5 minutes. Well, then why did you bother?
Yeah, it's like, Jesus, if your time is so important, why are you watching YouTube?
Exactly. So I just posted those pictures to my Facebook. And so just so you know.
Okay.
So there you go. Anyhow.
All right. Well, yeah, but you had no anomalies, right?
I don't see any, no.
Okay. All right. So there you have it. If any of you do get anomalies, love to see them. It'd be neat to look through what you guys capture. That was a good idea. I've never thought of doing stuff like that on the show, but that's a good idea, and say thank you for that. But we got some hot sheet stuff to get through.
Hot sheets.
We're into hour number 2,
Really?
almost 1 minute away
Oh,
from
yeah,
hour number
I guess
2
so,
already.
yeah.
God, this has flown down.
I know.
I saw this first story.
Oh, I want to. Can I real quick mention
Sure.
something? Of course, Jess, as Jess always does in chat, when MCAT shows up, she asks him where he is. He is currently in Illinois.
Illinois.
Keep your eyes peeled for Mothman sightings.
Watch out for winged humans
Yes.
over in Illinois, MCAT.
Yes.
Be careful.
Gosh, they'll just swoop out the sky and pick your butt up.
Yeah, that's going to be a mess
They
on the
might pick
windshield.
up you and your cab.
You'll be scrubbing that out of the grill of the semi for a while.
But
I'm
this
telling you.
time, take samples. We want samples.
You remember that story?
Yes.
I'm an investigator, and I hit a little winged creature. It was a mess all over my windshield. Took me an hour to scrub it out. It's like, you didn't
You
save
did
a
take
sample?
samples?
Are you kidding me?
Freaking idiot.
Yeah, I know. It was just like, oh my God. It's like the stupid truck just arrived and dumped off a fresh load.
Yeah, I just got out of the truck or the car, whatever it was.
Exactly. So here's on the hot sheets. This is the singular40n.com, ladies and gentlemen. I love this site. I keep plugging this site. I just think it's really cool. They do a great job. The Waylands have done a marvelous job with the Singular 40n. And so I always like to promote it because I think they really are fantastic. It's by far my favorite paranormal site. But this is talking, and I just saw a reference to this, as a matter of fact. The Isle of Skye salmon farm proposal blocked following formal objection by friends of fairies. And this has to do with Scotland, ladies and gentlemen. The controversial proposal to build an organic sea harvest salmon farm at Floodgarry in Scotland's Isle of Skye was blocked this month, following numerous concerns brought by local fishing groups and one formal objection submitted by the Friends of the Alien. I can't pronounce the rest of that. Something fairies. We'd need Kev to get this out.
We would, yeah.
But it's a big Scottish word. Is all I can say. If it's Gaelic or something, I don't know. But it has to do with the Friends of the Island Blah Fairies. The objection submitted was last fall on behalf of the Floodgarry Fairies. Expressed concern for the effect of such a farm it could have on the ASRAI, Azrai aquatic fairies said to dwell in the region. According to legend, the fairies melt in sunlight, and the group is concerned that the steel cages used on the fishing farms could prove deadly to the Azrai. Azrai live for hundreds of years and will come up to the surface of the water once each century to bathe in the moonlight, which they use to help them grow. And it is proven that the steel of the fish farm cages draws many Azrai to the surface with only one result, that they melt, read the objection. Furthermore, the objection stated seals living on the island may actually be Rowan, Roane, shape-shifting fairies who take the form of seals, and they could be in danger of being shot by the salmon farmers. Gnomes and boobries, Boobries, another type of shape-shifting fairy that takes the form of a bird, were also specifically mentioned as being in danger. Those working at the fish farm could themselves be in danger too, said the fairies' friends. The fairies will attempt to lure them with promise of gold and jewels into the deepest part of the ocean to drown or simply trick them. And the blue men of the Minch, M-I-N-C-H, also known as storm kelpies, could cause dangerous adverse weather conditions. They have told they will protect their gentler Flutigari neighbors against the fish farm, as they were there already in the beginning of time, and they will always have done so. The friends said the blue men of the Minch have predicted that there could be some severe stormy weather in the future, but declined to explain further at this stage. The friends' final objections were in opposition to the construction of 2 underwater ferry paths, and the fact that the fairies were not consulted prior to the farm's proposal. The High Council did not reportedly take the Friends of the Fairies' objections seriously. The fairies are not mentioned in the motion, not mentioned as part of the debate, not listed as an objector or mentioned in the report, said one council source. The objections lodged by the Scottish Fishermen Federation, Scottish Whitefish Producers Association, and the Malaig, M-A-L-L-A-I-G, Malaig, and Northwest Fishermen's Association were given more weight by the council. Those objections included worries for the safety of local fishermen and concerns about the chemicals used in the salmon farming industry. Fishermen lose more and more grounds to fish farms. Fishermen can no longer fish these seas, which leads to more dangerous situations as they cannot take shelter in these safe spots anymore. According to the fishing groups, smaller vessels are often family businesses. Being forced out of another area will cause loss of income and possibly fishermen going out of business. Councillors on the Highland Council refused the controversial salmon farming proposals following a 6-hour debate. So I find that very interesting because, of course, we don't hear much about the lore of the Fae or the influence of the Fae on the Scottish culture, but we do for Iceland. Iceland is famous for its reverence and observation of the Fae in their day-to-day life. But this is the first time I've heard any such mention of a Scottish representation of that. I wish Kev was here right now. He could probably speak to that a little bit, but yeah, I think that's quite interesting. Very interesting. So, ladies and gentlemen, there won't be a fish farm at this place not because of the Fae, they say, but because of a bunch of other reasons. However, the Fae were a part of the story. So there you have it. Not sure if that's relevant or not, but I thought it was interesting. And then one more. This is a black smoke ring over Pakistan provokes widespread speculation. I'm sure it's just swamp gas.
Reflecting off Uranus.
I gotta put this on screen because there's actually a photo of it.
Oh.
So I'll show you guys the photo in question.
Oh, I thought that was a circle. I thought it was circling something.
It's the actual anomaly, Don.
Oh, wow.
It's not just that friendly red circle that points out all the action to the casual observer, and it's right in line with the Sozo cinema. But yeah, that is a black circle. There's no kidding. It says it's a still image from the video posted to Twitter by Blue on Blue, and that's at RAZZ Blues/Twitter. A large black smoke ring posted to Twitter on January 21st has led to widespread speculation regarding its origin rather, including the inevitable introduction of UFOs into the discussion. Well, can you blame them? I mean, it's a smoke ring in the sky that is huge. How would you not think of UFOs? The video was shared by Twitter user Blue on Blue, accompanied by the caption, "They are here." Hashtag Lahore, hashtag alien. I should repronounce that. Lahore. I think I might have put an S on the end of that, and I didn't mean to.
He means more than one. I like
I
that
did
way. I
not.
prefer more than one.
I don't know. It could be Lahore too. I don't know. I'm just trying to pronounce it as best as I can.
I like Lahores,
Jesus.
but it's hashtag Lahore,
Oh man.
singular.
All right. So moving on. Lahore is the capital of the Pakistani province of Punjab and the city over which the ring appeared. The second video was posted shortly after the first with the caption, "I think they're here to take back the Jubakari now that her shrink has given up." I'm not sure who Jubakari is. Julbukari? I don't know.
I'm confused.
Whatever the hell that name is, that her shrink has given up. I'm not sure who she is or what problems she's having, but apparently there's quite a few. It's Gul Bukhari. Mentioned in the caption as a liberal British Pakistani journalist and columnist known for her criticism of the Pakistan army. One commenter posted their own video to the thread, which they said was recorded over Dubai. I noticed a similar thing some weeks ago in Dubai, and it's kind of off screen. I can't play it. I don't have permission, so we won't do that. But further comments responding to the video included a roughly equal mix of ufological special speculation. My God. That's all, folks. Much of which seemed tongue-in-cheek and skeptical dismissal, although the commenters were concerned that the rings could represent some form of weapons testing. Large black aerial smoke rings have been appearing worldwide for years, but there's nothing necessarily paranormal about them, despite their unusual appearance. Now, that one does just look... I mean, my God, though, where did it come from?
Yeah.
That's huge. Following a similar incident in 2017, former British Ministry of Defense UFO investigator Nick Pope said that despite exotic theories about the UFO aliens or portals to other dimensions, I believe there's a decidedly down-to-earth explanation for the large black aerial smoke rings, a so-called smoke vortex that can arise when you have a blast through a circular structure like a smokestack.
Well, okay, that makes sense. But
That could be, but still,
where's there a smokestack near that?
Yeah, I don't see any smokestacks. Do you?
Well,
I'm not seeing any.
That's probably drifted already. Because
I know, but you'd think it would dissipate. You know, how would it hold that form?
Well, that might be
even through turbulence.
It doesn't actually look like it's possibly that high off the ground, though.
I don't know, but yeah, if it isn't, then where the hell did it come from? So these weird effects can be caused by accident or indeed by design, he added. On this latter point, they can be created as a sort of pyrotechnic effect. Well, there is that, I suppose. The smoke rings have been reported over events such as military reenactments in England, pictured above, and the music festival Bonnaroo in Tennessee, USA. Oh, that's kind of cool. See the video below. The weird rings appeared suddenly and tend to linger in the sky and can be quite baffling to onlookers who are unaware of their cause. The source of the black smoke ring over Lahore and whether it was deliberate or the result of an accident such as a transformer explosion remains unknown. Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Black smoke rings. I don't know what to make of it. I can't think of any. I mean, I guess a smokestack is an idea, but I'm perplexed at how it's holding its shape pretty well, even through raising up and whatever turbulence would be up there.
So the first thing that was commented when you showed the first picture is that it's a raindrop on a windshield. Which, if you had a close up and it was, it just hit and you got a close up of it immediately before it started to drip, then okay, that could be true. But when you look at the picture of it from the side with the car, when you actually see that you're in the car,
these are just several different of them,
right?
These,
But this one here, That's the same. Isn't that the same one from just a different?
It says a smoke ring hovering over M62
Oh,
in
no,
West Yorkshire, England.
That's in England. Not
Yeah,
in
so it's a different
not
one.
in Lahores.
Nope. You're having too much fun with that word, brother.
What word?
Yeah, that's the way it should be. Yeah, I don't know. I think it could be something bizarre, but I don't know. It seems to me there's probably some group that's figured out how to do these, and probably there's instructions on the internet somewhere of how to do it.
hoax them.
Yeah,
You see, you get this board and a plank, and then you walk out in the cornfield.
yeah, they're cloud circles. Yeah, you need a lot of balloons first. See, so there you have it.
They get up to 150 feet, and you just pop them all,
Yeah, exactly.
just like a balloonolite.
Fail them all with smoke. Yeah, very strange. Very strange. But what is it? I don't know. I don't even pretend to know, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know much usually, but I know a little less about this. So there is that. I'm telling you, it's a giant with a spleef. Okay.
Jeez.
Well,
Who said that?
D. I didn't. D. What the hell's a spleef?
Oh, you don't know what a spleef is?
I think I do.
Oh gosh, you should know.
Is it a joint?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm not quite as trendy as D, but I'm working on it.
I think Cade said something about a giant. What? Wait, what did Cade say? Cade said, word Cade.
He says I'm kidding.
That's someone vaping.
It's a big vape. It's a big black cloud of vape. It smells like licorice, though. I mean, it might.
Oh, well.
Well, I'm just bringing it to you as I find them, ladies and gentlemen. And that's what we found on the hot sheets tonight. So I hope you enjoyed that segment. Don, you got anything?
Lahores.
Yeah, I mean, anything else?
Oh, actually, well, I don't have anything related specifically to what you're talking about. But
No.
You know what I did
start a
this
whole
week?
new chain. That's fine.
Okay. You know what I did this weekend?
What?
I went to Paisley on Saturday. Went and interviewed this gal. Her name's Courtney Weber. And she is a witch.
Yeah.
That's anyhow, so she did this whole 2-hour interview with her, and they covered her books and things like that. And
Oh, cool.
And then on Sunday, I went with her she did a tarot, delving deeper into tarot kind of class in the Spokane Valley, and I went with her. I went with Paisley and met her and this, that, and the other thing. And you know what? I never, when she was talking about, going through the tarot and talking about, the imagery and the ideas behind, the different suits and major arcana, minor arcana, the court, things like that. I was like, wow, that's really cool.
Yeah.
And I had never really thought about it, but I'm like, she's holding like cards up, like the Two of Swords. And it was like she was, kind of doing this imaginary reading. She pulled 3 cards, past, present, future. And every time she held one up, I was like, oh, that means this, and that means that, and this means that. Or at least that's what it meant to me. And people agreed in general, So it's like, maybe I'll start doing tarot reading for maybe if we ever get our Patreon going, maybe I'll do tarot reading, a 3-card pull.
You will?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that'd be kind of cool.
All right. I mean, anything's possible, ladies and gentlemen.
But we would need a Patreon to do that.
Yeah, well, it's not really been the vision of the Paranormal Portal to do tarot reads, but...
But it'd be something I could do.
It sure would be.
Yes, for $100 Patreon, you can have yes.
All right. So, anything else?
I don't know, but it was a really great weekend. It was a really great Sunday. We also went to I also went to a hypnotist, a hypnotherapist on Sunday, and that was interesting. It was just really interesting. It was a great Sunday, but
I'm glad you had a good time.
And I slept so good Sunday night. I couldn't believe it.
Was that part of the hypnosis?
Yeah, it was probably was. It wasn't, when you first go in, it's like, okay, well, this is what we're going to do today. It's just going to get you in, relaxed and get you, into this, thing. And we're not really going to cover much. And so, but I mean, it was something I need to experience again. Let me say that. It
Oh,
was
cool.
it was cool.
That is pretty
So
cool.
yeah.
Yeah. That sounds excellent. Quite excellent indeed. So, very interesting. Well, that's a wonderful weekend. I like those kind of days when you get to experience new things and
Yeah, it was cool.
look
It was
into a
cool.
different world.
Yeah.
It's kind of like the Renaissance Festival, you know? I like Renaissance festivals because it's like stepping into a different world. So,
Somebody says I should do them at a booth, have a booth and do them. No.
we'll get you one at the Ren Fest.
No.
Don's Tarot booth.
Don's terrible booth.
The booth of beard. All right, so that's that. I mean, thanks for sharing that. That's
yeah,
interesting.
I just thought it was kind of cool. I just
It
wanted to
is.
share it with our peoples.
Well, there you have it, peoples. That's what Don's been up to, and I'm looking for something. Yeah, I gotta find my right tabs here. I've got stuff all over the place,
I
but
know, huh?
I like to keep. What the hell did I just do? There we go. Okay, it just refreshed. I don't know.
Duke's singing Motorhead songs in the.
Yeah, Ace of Spades. Yeah, I saw that.
He always plays the Lemmy card.
Plays the Lemmy card.
Yeah,
Is that like a wild card?
No, that's the Ace of Spades.
Yeah, I know. Lemmy, Mordecai. Yeah,
And it's
yeah.
Sorry.
Sorry. Just looking at some. I don't know what the hell we've done here and what we haven't. I got this open, but I'm looking at it like, well, hold on.
Now, last time you did the damnedest things kids say or something like that.
Yeah, I've got all kinds of
There was
weird ones
15 of them, and then you did the 31.
open. That one sounds interesting, but I don't think we want to cover that as just a segment. That sounds like
Wow.
a whole.
Husband divorced his wife after. Okay, yeah, I imagine so.
Yeah, I don't know. I can't help the ads that get pulled on the end at the bottom of these things. They're just usually trashy
Speaking
as
of
hell.
bottoms.
Yeah, there's a few of them all around here. Yeah. I already shared that. Oh, geez. I think we've already covered that kind of stuff. I'm hesitant to talk about those paranormal games because
Yeah.
I don't want to perpetuate any of that, you know? I mean, that's really creepy. That's really, really creepy. Huh. Well, this might be interesting.
Oh?
I don't know. I'm just looking through these other things that I had pulled up, and I realized that there's no specific order to any of them. So here sounds like a good one. I don't know. Let's get into this. It says, this is from the Occult Museum, ladies and gentlemen. These are, it says The Witching Hour, 13 True Ghost Stories You Shouldn't Read at Night. Sounds creepy. First one is called Imaginary Friend. Go figure. You just mentioned the kids, Don. Are you there, Don?
The kids? Oh, yeah, the things kids say. Yes. Sorry. Yes.
All right. So when I was younger, I had an imaginary friend who lived in this massive antique dresser. Oh, okay. I vividly remember him telling me stories, although I have absolutely no recollection of what they actually were.
Wow.
That'd be a cool hypnosis right there, is to go back and figure out what he talked about. I remember one day talking to my parents about it. Dad traveled quite a bit, so he wasn't up to date with what I was into. And when I started telling him about my dresser buddy, he wanted to know his name. It was something innocent like Peter, but I can still see him going white in the face as I told him. I then drew a picture of Peter for him. The next day, my dad and my uncle took the dresser out and burned it. It wasn't until a few years later when I found out my dad's little brother, my uncle, also had the same friend with the same name who lived in the same antique dresser. After a few months of typical imaginary friend stuff, my uncle started having night terrors and couldn't sleep because of Peter. It got so bad that they had to move him out of his room until he managed to get back to normal. That sounds familiar, like we might have read that one.
It does, yes.
Well, I mean, this is a whole different article, so I know I haven't read this before, but sorry if it's a repeat, ladies and gentlemen. That's not how I usually roll. Let me see. I'm just looking at the rest of them in here to make sure that these aren't, you know, on some sites they just hodgepodge things together and just sweep them into a pile and call them a new story, and it's just recycled from other stories. So I want to make sure I'm not going to bring you the same stuff. I'll read this one. It's Cabin in the Woods. The first time I moved away from home, I lived in an old cabin-like house that I rented really cheaply. I never got a good night's sleep in there. I always tossed and turned and woke up several times during the night, but it wasn't until after a few weeks things started to get weird. In the beginning, it was just small things I didn't really think too much about, like keys missing in cups and plates not being where I thought I'd left them. And then I started waking up in the morning to find various drawers open and things laying around like someone had been in a hurry searching for something. I even came home to a wide open main door and decided to change the locks. But even then, when I was home with the door locked, I could walk past and just in the corner of my eye see the door slide open. One time I was cat sitting one of my friend's cats and it would just sit for hours in the middle of the room and toss its tail from side to side and watch as if it was following something around the room with its eyes. It really creeped me out, and if you could only imagine what it felt like to see the cat slowly follow something that floats randomly around the room and finally stop right beside you. That would be creepy. After a while, I just couldn't live there anymore and I finally moved out. Wow. Huh. Oh. Let's see. Oh, this one sounds creepy. So I like these ghost phone call things. I think that's a really neat phenomena. It sounds pretty... This one sounds terrible. It's called the disconnected number. And it says, a few years ago, my brother would get a call on his cell phone around 2 or 3 a.m. every night. And he would answer it. And it was this hellish sounding noise, like static mixed with screams. And he changed his cell number after a month of this, and it stopped. Then after a week or so, it began again. The exact same noise, exact same time. Finally, one day, he decided to back dial the call. And it was an old man that had no clue what he was talking about. Still, the calls persisted. If he didn't answer it, it would call a few more times. No messages were ever left, and he decided to say, screw it. Ended his contract with the phone company, switched to a new one, then got another new number, and you guessed it, the screaming static calls continued after a short delay. But this time he was terrified every night, unsure why this was happening. He backed out the number again and got a different person. Around this time he lost his job and his phone. The call stopped, of course. His phone was disconnected now. One day my mom asked me to listen to this weird message she got on our home phone, and it was the static screaming. We showed my brother, and he was freaking out. He backed out the number again and said the number was disconnected this time.
Wow.
Never heard from it again after that. That is horrible. Such persistence, though. That's what's terrible. This one's just a little one. It says, heard a tapping on my window at night. Next morning, there was a handprint on the outside of my window. I live on the 3rd floor of an apartment building.
Okay, I guess that...
Well, that's a whole lot of suck right there. If something's outside tapping on your window, what would you do, Don? Come on. What would you do?
I'd probably... I'd... What, poop myself.
You would, okay.
If I found a handprint on the outside of my window in the morning.
It doesn't say it's a small handprint. Like I assume it's a normal adult-sized handprint, but it's on the outside of a 3rd floor window, which apparently must not have a fire escape or anything like that.
I hope not, or I would hope so, actually.
You kind of hope so. I mean, it's easier to stomach if it's just a person.
Yeah.
If it's not a person, then it's really weird. This one's called Don't Turn Away. I was a kid when this happened. My uncle and I were fishing up, chopping, and gathering firewood for my grandmother because it was getting dark, driving back on a dirt road at about 30 miles per hour, give or take 5 miles an hour, and I had this awful sense of being watched. Before I could turn to look out my window, passenger side, my uncle quickly shouted, "Don't!" I completely froze. My heart felt like it was beating out of my chest and then completely stopped when I heard a tap, tap, tap on my window. My uncle sped up and was loudly praying in my native language. I didn't know what was going on and thought it was over till our truck suddenly dipped from the bed. My uncle then started saying, "Look at me and don't turn away," over and over. And then I heard it again, tap, tap. But from the window behind me, it was getting harder for me to breathe and I wanted to cry. A minute or two passed and the truck dipped again. My uncle looked around and sighed. It was quiet besides the truck and the road. He looked at me and said, we will ask your father to do a prayer in the morning, so the evil will forget our faces. Navajo to English equivalent.
Oh.
And I remember curling up on the seat and just staring at the radio, watching the time, listening to my uncle sing an old prayer till we got to my grandmother's house. Wow.
Wow.
Holy macaroni.
Skinwalker.
Yeah, you think? That's what I'm thinking too.
Don't.
I mean, they're going 30 miles an hour and something's tapping on the window like, hey.
Check it out.
Yeah, horrible.
Yeah, Gia, I thought the same thing too when he said a rap tap tapping on his window.
What?
I thought the Raven.
The Raven?
Yeah.
Oh, right. But it sounds like a skinwalker or something else, but it's Navajo, so that would definitely fall in line with their lore.
That's true.
This one's called Funny Papa. My grandfather died.
Definitely poop myself on that one. Sorry.
Yeah, I mean, could you not look, though? Could you not look?
Yeah.
You could?
Yeah, I can.
I'd have to look. I'd have to know.
I don't gotta know.
I mean, I wouldn't probably want to remember what I saw, but I still, could you not look?
But why would they wait until the morning?
Well, because I'm sure the father,
I don't care. The father may be asleep. I don't care. Dad, you got to get up and pray for us.
We need some prayer now.
We need you to get some smoke going.
Yeah. What are you talking about, Don?
Smudging smoke.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
gotcha.
Smudging smoke.
Gotcha. Okay. So, Funny Papa, it said, my grandfather died this last year sometime when my son was maybe a year old. We had dinner with the whole family every Friday night, so my son had seen him several times. My grandfather was a very quiet, proud man, but when he thought he was alone or unseen, he would make silly faces at my son just to get a laugh. Couple of nights after his funeral, my son, who liked to crawl into bed with us in the middle of the night, started just laughing uncontrollably at like 2 a.m. I get out of bed to see what's going on and find my son sitting in the middle of the living room in the dark laughing. I say, hey, buddy, what are you doing? In toddler speak, he says, Papa, funny. I got a little nervous for some reason and went to pick him up and bring him to our room for the rest of the night. And as I'm hauling him away, he says, bye, Papa, and blows a kiss at absolutely nothing that I can see. I think that one's familiar too.
I don't remember that one. So
Okay.
Maybe it was the night I wasn't here then.
Well, that's good then. I'm
That
glad.
was cool. I like that one.
Yeah, it's sweet. I mean, I don't know. I mean, if the kid's okay, I mean, well, I guess you got to worry. Is it really Papa? That's the part that could be dark and horrible. But if it's really Papa, then that's a beautiful thing. So the man in the top hat. This one's, I don't know. We've covered a lot of these, so this one may be a duplicate. But I do apologize. I didn't screen these ahead of time. So when I was growing up, was that your microphone?
Yeah, I was just moving the thing.
Yeah, I was like, it's right in my ear. I'm like, meh. When I was growing up, one of my best friends told me about a very creepy situation involving him, his younger brother, and a man in the window. There you go, with more men in the window, Don. That's tonight's theme, apparently, is men in the window.
Rap tapping on your window.
Yeah.
Somebody said gives the window on the third floor story.
Yeah.
Gives new meaning to cleaning product or cleaning uses for holy water.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'd definitely be doing some powerful blessing there, I think. When my friend and his little brother were younger, they shared a bedroom. And they're some years apart, but his younger brother was born with a multitude of different health issues, including multiple sclerosis. And he's confined to a wheelchair and can't take care of himself. So to keep an eye on him overnight when his parents couldn't, they shared a bedroom. One night, my friend randomly woke up for no particular reason and happened to glance over at his younger brother, but noticed something very startling, which was a strange silhouette of a man wearing a top hat looking in through the window behind his younger brother's crib. The first thing my friend did was jump up and turn on the light, and then ran into his parents' room to tell them what he saw. When his parents came back to the room to investigate, his younger brother was having a seizure. A few of his family members say it was his younger brother's guardian angel standing in the window that night, and my friend believes it was death. it's all still pretty unsettling to me.
Huh.
Yeah, I don't remember that one. If I ever read that one before, I don't remember it, but that's creepy. Oh, that's, yeah. Sorry, my eyes burning. This one is The Old Piano. When I was in 8th grade, I went to a school trip that was called the Louisiana Tour, and it was mostly going around to significant sites in South Louisiana. And one of the places we went was Myrtle's Plantation. I think I read this one. I'm pretty sure I read it.
That's the mirrors, isn't it?
Yeah.
Plantation.
Yeah, we've read this one before. I think it might be a long time ago, though. Sorry, but you guys, I guess I could just read it. When I was in 8th grade, I went on a school trip to Myrtle's, going to South Louisiana. One of the places we went was Myrtle's Plantation, which is considered to be one of the most haunted places in the country. There are all kinds of stories about the place, but at one point we were standing in a room as part of a larger group, and the tour guide was talking about something. I don't remember what, and as I'm standing there, I start to hear what sounds like someone hitting a piano key. After I heard it a couple of times, I started to look around for the source of the noise, and I didn't see a piano, but I kept hearing it. And I asked my friends who were standing near me if they heard it, and they said no. And when I heard it again, I said, there it is again, and that they must have heard it, but they thought I was crazy. So I went back to looking around the room, and everyone's eyes were on the tour guide except for one woman, and she caught my eye and pointed at me, and then at her ear with a questioning look, and I realized she was asking if I heard it too. And I nodded, and at this point the tour guide starts telling a story about a soldier who had died there, and that he played the piano, and multiple guests had reported hearing him playing in the night. Honestly, don't know what to think. I guess I still don't. I talked to the woman as we were we were all leaving the room, and she had heard the exact same thing as me, but her husband and son had not heard it. So why is that, Don? Why do you think some people hear things and other people don't?
Because they're not as opened.
Right.
They're not as in tune.
I would agree with that.
They are, slightly less sympathetic with the vibration.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I think you're absolutely right.
Because that's me.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if you're not open. I think you're, I don't know. I think that you're questioning, though, rather than not open.
That's why I sit here. I mean, truly.
Yeah.
I mean, this is my part of the journey that,
Yes, exactly. So I think it's pretty curious, but I think that I don't think I would ever accuse you of being closed,
Oh, I appreciate that.
Yeah. This one's called The Light.
Tightwad, but not closed.
My wife's mother passed away in 2003 from cancer. After the funeral, family and friends gathered at her house for a final celebration of her life. The gathering went late into the evening, and my son, who was 3 at the time, needed to go to bed at that point, and I walked him up the stairs to where he'd sleep. The room that my mother-in-law passed away in was upstairs, and straight down the hallway as you reached the top of the landing. My son and I walked upstairs together with me holding his hand, and as we nearly reached the top of the stairs, my son stopped and he wouldn't move. At the point which he could just see down the hallway, he was staring straight down the hall. I looked at him and then down the hall to an open doorway to a completely dark bedroom, and he just stared and would not move any further. And I asked him, "Buddy, are you okay?" His response was, "Daddy, the light scares me." I looked down the hallway again, and where he was staring into the darkness, I said, "Buddy, you see a light?" "Yes, Daddy, it scares me." I promptly picked him up and went back downstairs. To this day, the hair still stands on the back of my neck when I think of it. The lights, scary lights. Is that the transition? Is that the tunnel of light? Is that what it is? What do you think?
I'm sorry I missed that. I'm trying to follow a chat thread.
Oh, okay. All right.
At least this time I'm being honest instead of just trying to...
Well, that's okay.
So, yeah.
All right, Heavy Footsteps is next. I was in the basement watching TV in the dark while my whole family was upstairs, and as I'm chilling there, I hear footsteps coming down the basement stairs, and while I normally can tell which family member it is by the cadence and heaviness of the steps, I didn't recognize these ones. This is a similar one too. This is the last one I'm going to read from this list because I don't like repeating stories, and I don't think it's very long ago that I read them the first time, or at least some of these. I didn't recognize these ones, and the footsteps stopped before the bottom of the stairs. So I called out saying, "Oh, ha ha ha, so scary. I know it's you," thinking it was my brother or someone trying to scare me. I looked back to the TV and the footsteps start again, and I whipped my head back to the stairs just in time to see a dark figure go into a side room that has glass doors and is pretty much pitch black. So I assumed whoever it was standing right behind the glass looking at me. That's when I started to get scared. So I ran to the lights, flipped them on, only to find the room was empty. My entire family was still upstairs. It was just too spooky. That's creepy. Okay, yeah. All right, so that's all for that one. I don't know. I can't read from the site anymore until I screen ahead to make sure I'm not going to be repeating the same things over and over and over.
Again.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, you know what I just remembered to do?
What was that, Don?
Like the stream.
Oh, you did. I hope all the rest of you like it too.
You know, I shared it too.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, I liked it, shared it.
Wow, that was good of you.
And because I liked it and shared it, I subscribed.
Wow. Great. Everybody just be like Don, please.
Hey, everybody, this is Don. Don knows how to like, share, and subscribe.
Be like Don.
Be like Don. Don't be a dick.
Nice.
Sorry.
Way to just
just
editorialized on that.
It just came right out. Can't help it.
Well, I mean, hit the notification bell too while we're at it.
Yeah.
That way you'll get notified.
Ring his bell.
And at least that's the intention. Is that those should keep you notified. I don't know. I hope these may be new, but they might be kind of redundant too.
You know, the other day I was sitting in my chair in the front room. I was sitting in my chair, and it was probably like 11 o'clock at night.
Uh-huh.
And I was just sitting there reading my Kindle, and I heard this down the stairs, this thumping down the stairs.
Okay.
And I thought for sure it was one of my roommates because the chair back is to the stairs.
Okay.
So I said, if you guys think you're sneaking up on me, you're not sneaky. And I look back, there's nobody there. And then my dog walked past my chair.
Was it the dog?
It was the dog.
Oh, nice.
I was about to get bent.
Don's like,
thanks for helping me realize that I was okay.
Yeah, well, at least it was all okay. All right, so let's get to...
Naysay says, maybe Don and Brent need to establish a code word with each other in the event while they are apart, one of them is cloned.
I have no idea what the hell that means.
Well... Are you really Brent? What's our code word, Brent?
Oh, well. Oh, okay. I get it. It's like a...
pineapple gravy.
That's Don's word, but now you said it over the show, so you're going to have to come up with another one.
Need a new safe word?
New one. Yeah, oh, God. All right, let's continue on before I actually throw up on my microphone. All right. This one is apparently some disturbing 911 operators. 911 calls. 911 operators describe the most disturbing calls they've ever taken, ladies and gentlemen. And, I'm sure they must hear all kinds of weird stuff. Of course, they're hearing things that are, absolutely, life and death situations. Those are absolutely terrifying.
Nessie, that's probably his word. Yeah, I can't say it, though.
Okay.
So 911 stories.
Yeah. The first one is Daddy's eye fell out. Had a call for a brother who killed his other brother with a hammer, the pick part. And while the victim's little daughter was watching, the daughter called us from another room and told us her daddy's eye fell out. The perpetrator was apprehended, daughter taken by a relative. I had to smoke after that one, and I don't even smoke. So what a horrible call.
Wow.
That's horrible. And these may not be paranormal, but they are creepy. So, again, I think some of the worst monsters in this world are actually have a pulse and are walking around like you and me.
Yeah.
It says, I need your help. There was an old couple who lived in a rundown ranch house about 20 miles east of town. And while the husband had passed away, the woman would call 911 at least 3 times a week, asking for assistance with really mundane tasks not normally dealt with by first responders. I need help turning the thermostat up. I need help boiling water for my tea, etc. The woman developed dementia, and eventually it progressed to the point where she believed she was calling 911 to ask her deceased husband for help. All of the dispatchers would recognize the address immediately, even though all she could say was the husband's name. I need help. Please come home and help me. One day she called and again was only able to repeat her husband's, I'll call him John, name, which was John. I need help. Please come home and help me, John. And by the time the first responders arrived on scene, they found the woman lying dead in her bed.
Ooh.
The first unit on scene called dispatch to confirm that it was the woman herself who had called 911. As rigor mortis had already set in, we wrote it off as the fact that the heater in her house wasn't working, and the ambient temperature in the room was about 50 degrees. We continued to receive 911 calls from that woman at that address for just over a year after she passed away. Even after her home was vandalized and burned to the ground, the phone calls did not stop.
Wow.
John, I need your help. John, please come home and help me. We were obligated to send a response each and every time, but not once did we find anyone on or near the property. Multiple calls to the phone company confirmed that the phone line had been disconnected and the call was not coming from another address.
Now that was paranormal.
Yeah. I think you eliminate all those things, and that's definitely paranormal.
Well, yeah, the house burned down, and it's still making calls.
Yeah, and it's still the woman's voice saying, John, come home, I need help.
Goodness.
Wow. Eesh. This one's called Glass Breaking. In 1979, New York City got a call from a crying child, a little boy, saying his mom and dad were fighting, and his dad said he was going to throw the mom out the window. I could hear a terrible fight going on in the background, someone screaming, things breaking, and the man yelling, and the poor kid didn't know his own address, and we didn't have the technology for call ID, and would have to use reverse telephone books. A trace would take forever. Anyway, while I'm trying to get the address, I hear a horrific scream and glass breaking. A few seconds later, the other operators in the room are getting calls about a woman lying in the courtyard who came out through a window. Worst of all is that I'm sure someone else in this apartment building must have heard this fight, but no one called to help until it was just too late. Poor kid. Working 9/11 in New York City during the 70s and 80s was a nightmare. Oh, that's horrible.
I bet, yeah, it was just rife with cocaine and
Oh, yeah. Well, crack and all that stuff, yeah. That's so sad. Oh, the scars that some people have to grow up with is just unfair as hell. That's just not even fair. Oh, God, got to take care of the babies. This one's called Alone in the House. The single worst call I've ever taken, though, was a woman who called in that she was hearing weird noises in her house. While walking through her house, she started screaming and told me there was someone in her house. And there were, it says I think there were a couple soft pops followed by a gurgling sound.
oh.
And after the officers had cleared the house and found her, it finally came out during the investigation that her adult son had killed her while high and freaking out.
God.
Gunshots don't sound like you'd think on the phone.
Nope.
They're rather soft, and it's an eerie sound. Something so violent being so soft that you aren't paying attention. You can actually miss it. These are horrible stories.
Yes,
oh,
they are.
I don't think I can read any more of this. Man, my heart's getting heavier and heavier with each one. Okay, so here's another one. I can't read any more of those. I mean, I don't doubt, and I don't ignore the fact that this stuff goes on, but it's so horrible and it's so dark and it's so sad and tragic, and there's absolutely nothing we can do about it because it's already happened. You know, and it's a shame that anybody has to experience such things, but I just can't. I can't cover this stuff on the show. So I apologize. I thought there'd be more paranormal to it, but it's just dark and sad. So my apologies to any of you out there. But here we have an article. It's the haunting stories behind 6 strange and unusual graves. Maybe this will be better. I don't know. We've already reported on the striking Black Angel statue that haunts Iowa City's Oakland Cemetery. The Black Angel is said to possess the power to kill anyone who kisses or in some case touches it. But its a strange history bears repeating in this list. The bronze statue is said to have turned black overnight, though the supposed reasons vary from a lightning strike to a mark of its owner's infidelity. Whatever the case, the shadow of the Black Angel statue makes a chilling monument indeed. And they do have a picture of it. That's really creepy. I'll put that up on the screen so you guys can see the legendary black statue.
Wow. So if you kiss it, it'll kill you?
Or even touch it, apparently.
Well, I guess kissing counts as touching.
Right. But, I mean, it's not just that,
Yeah, it's
by
not
kissing
just
it.
kissing it. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's the Black Angel in Iowa.
Wow.
Yeah, that's creepy as hell.
Speaking of Iowa, can you imagine how popular we are now?
I guess so. All right, so here's Mary Ellis was buried in 1828 in the Ellis family plot on a wooded hillside overlooking the Raritan River in New Brunswick, New Jersey. The story of her life was a sad one. Apparently, she had fallen in love with the sea captain who had promised to come back and marry her. Alas, the captain never returned, and Mary never let go of the memory of her lost love. Upon her death, she was buried at the spot where she waited faithfully for her lover to return. Nearly 200 years later, she's still there, though now the surrounding land has been turned into a parking lot for a series of retail outlets, most recently an AMC movie theater and a famous Dave's restaurant. Ever since the area was regraded for parking, the grave, undisturbed and surrounded by a chain-link fence, has stood atop a 7-foot-high pedestal of earth in the middle of the lot. Wow. How about that? You gotta love the fact that they respected her in that way, though,
Right, yeah.
Is that paranormal? No, it's not, but
It could have been.
Well, kind of,
Do you think if they would have moved the grave or just,
moved her to a different location,
desecrated it in some other way?
That's true.
Could have
That's
been.
true. Wow. That's really, really sad. There's a few graves here, though, it looks like. There's a few listings on the headstone.
Yeah, Elizabeth Margaret. Looks
there's
like a family.
It does look like a family plot, so very interesting, but it's cool they left it. This one's the grave in the middle of the road. County Road 400 in Indiana has long taken an odd detour around the grave of Nancy Barnett, whose relatives didn't want her grave disturbed when the county decided to put the road through the area surrounding her burial plot. After a tense standoff, the county ultimately split the road with a lane running on either side of her grave. What became a tourist landmark recently took on a more mysterious quality, however, when archaeologists exhumed the grave and found the remains of at least 6 other people. A total of 2 women, one of whom was presumably Nancy Barnett, a man, and 4 children whose origins and identities remain unknown.
Wow.
Oh, that's creepy as hell.
Maybe it was an unmarked family plot, though. Maybe they just didn't have the money to update the head.
I'm sure they probably would have said that, though, but it sounds like they were in the same casket.
Right.
Or, you know what I mean? Or something
in
like
the same hole, certainly. But I mean, so you can get family plots where they dig deeper and they just literally plant one person over the other. Whoever dies first gets the lowest pot. Seriously.
It's like human Jenga.
What happens if I pull out this humorous bone? Not very humorous, is it?
I'm going to pull out Becky and stack it on top. Sorry for any Beckys out there. That's just me randomly pulling a name out of my head. This one's called Victim of the Beast, which sounds horrible. At first glance, the grave of Lily E. Gray in Salt Lake City, Utah, looks fairly unassuming. Yet beneath her name and the date of her birth and death is a mysterious and sinister inscription, Victim of the Beast 666. While such an inscription seems like it must carry a one whopper of a story, nobody seems to know what it is. Though the grave in which the stone rests is filled with other tall tales, the graveyard rather, including the legend of Emo's graves, supposedly the resting place of a serial killer or child molester who can be summoned by walking around the grave 3 times. No one seems to know much about Lily E. Gray or the strange legend carved into her headstone. Yikes. That's horrible. The Jewett City of Vampires. In an old Jewett City cemetery in Griswold, Connecticut, you can still find a line of largely nondescript tombstones dating from the 1840s and 1850s. Though not much to look at, these tombstones tell a strange story indeed. Beginning in the late 1840s, Henry Ray and 3 of his adult sons all died within a few years of a mysterious wasting illness. That was probably tuberculosis at the time, however. It was believed to be the work of vampires, or at least 2 of the bodies were exhumed and burned on the spot. This event found its way into the papers of the time, leaving the family known as the Jewett City Vampires.
Wow.
Hey, that's creepy. Moving Caskets of Chase Vault. I think I've heard of this one. This is creepy. In 1812, the Chase family vault in Barbados was opened for the burial of Thomas Chase. 3 of his female relatives had already been laid to rest inside of the vault. Afterward, it was sealed with concrete and left undisturbed. And yet, when the vault was opened for Thomas Chase, the coffins were found in a confused state, having apparently been tossed from their places. The vault was opened again later for the burial of an infant, and once again, the same phenomena was discovered. Each time the coffins were placed back in their resting places, yet each time caretakers reopened the vault, the coffins were found in disarray. The story goes that this continued until all the coffins were finally removed from the vault and buried elsewhere in 1820. The vault has remained unsealed and untenanted ever since. Wow. Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Some spookiness right here on the Paranormal Portal.
Very spookiness.
Those are some horrible stories. Not bad. I mean, some of them are really cool and some of them are really dark, but it's always entertaining. At least we hope that you're entertained. Are you not entertained?
Are you not entertained?
That's the question I got to ask every night here on the portal.
Okay, so
what?
Mr. Duke said he posted pictures to the Aether Archives MeWe group. All right, so here we are.
Oh, should I open it so I can?
I don't know if you want to. I don't know.
Let me see what the Duke caught.
Let's see if he caught anything.
See if he caught anything.
If you got anything, I haven't caught anything.
All
Oh,
right.
he said maybe it was to the chat, so let's go.
I don't see any Aether Archives chat stuff coming up. Nope. Yeah, you'll have to find them and let me know.
Okay, I'll see what I can do because can't even find me.
I can't find you. All right, so that's interesting, but I think we've rolled through a good evening here.
Oh, we have. Oh goodness, it is time, huh? Wow.
It is. That's how it rolls here on the portal, ladies and gentlemen. So I hope you've enjoyed the journey. We'll definitely check out Duke's photos and any of your other photos, ladies and gentlemen. Please let us know. Email them to the paranormalportalradio@gmail.com if you got some weird spookiness in your photos. We'd love to see them and review them and see what you got. That's how we roll here on the portal. Always looking for the paranormal. Sometimes we actually find it on the show.
Apparently so. Yeah.
With the weird anomalies that are happening to the sound. I don't know. I can't make heads or tails of it. But that was just me pausing to see if there's any echo.
Oh. Heads or tails, and I really mean it.
Huh?
You know what I mean? That's the one. That's the word that echoed back at the beginning of the show. Was mean.
Mean?
Mean. You said something. You know what I mean? And it said. Mean.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yep.
That's right. I don't know. More weirdness on the portal. We'll have to dig apart this episode too. But I think it all happened in the first hour, didn't it?
Yes.
Yeah. So it hasn't happened since.
It started happening. There was one before Naysay's call and one just as Naysay came in.
Yeah. Well,
Dude.
there you have it, as if proving the point. I don't know. But again, it doesn't feel dark or spooky at all. It just feels like if they are indeed paranormal, there's nothing, I don't feel anything nefarious about. But, it's just me. So, I think that's going to wrap it up for tonight's show, ladies and gentlemen.
Right.
I hope you've enjoyed our 2-hour Wednesday extravaganza into the paranormal looking glass.
Also known as Whack Job Wednesday.
It is now. We can always recoin the Wednesday name.
That's what Jess has called us forever.
Oh, gotcha. Well, I guess
Right.
it kind of fits, though, doesn't it?
Right, it kind of does.
Anything in closing, Don?
Paranormal Portal, Teesprings, the discount code for 15% off at teesprings.com/stores/paranormal-portal is Rockers20. All capital letters, Rockers 20.
Just 20, or is it 2020?
It's 20, just
Okay,
20.
Rockers 20.
Rockers 20.
All capital letters, Rockers, and then 20.
That's right. 15% off your whole order.
15, right?
15. One
It
five.
sounded like you said 50. I was
One
like,
five in these two little a slash and a 0.
okay. Gotcha. Well, I
And
guess
that's good until the 8th.
until the 8th.
The 8th.
It's not quite all the way to Valentine's, then, huh?
No, they got to get it in before Valentine's.
Get it in before Valentine's, ladies and gentlemen. It'll be up for the 8th, until the 8th. So, as Don said, but thank you all for being here and being a part of our journey through the Paranormal Portal. It's been an absolute pleasure. It always is. We had a great crowd throughout the night. It's
Yes,
been
we
pretty
did.
consistent. So, thank you all for being a part of it. And we will be back. I will be back, I guess, tomorrow. And then I'll be back. I'll be back every night. Every night, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Right here on YouTube, you will find me doing a Paranormal Portal, whether 1 hour or 2 hours. But there's always one coming up. So keep an eye out for the podcasts as well. If you haven't ever checked out the podcast, head over to Spotify, Pandora, iHeart, iTunes. Look for the Paranormal Portal. Do a search for the podcast. And subscribe if you would, please. It would help us out a bunch.
Absolutely. We would love it. And you would get new content.
Yeah, 90% of what's over there, at least, is
New content.
brand new content never heard before on our YouTube channel or anywhere. So these are brand new shows, mostly.
Yeah. And there's a lot of, we have a lot of interviews with people that have not been on the portal. So on the YouTube. So
On the YouTube, yeah.
if you want to hear some good interviews, go there.
Absolutely. There's some great interviews with some people that have experienced some really incredible stuff. So I hope you guys will check it out. Again, that's the Paranormal Portal podcast. And that is not the same as the YouTube channel. So
No, it's not.
when we say the podcast, we mean it's audio only.
So go to Spotify, Pandora,
iTunes,
iTunes,
iHeart,
Google Play. Or
Google Play. Yep. That's as well. So, I mean, there's hundreds of dozens of platforms that we're on. I don't know how many. There's like 80 some different platforms or better.
Yeah. Oscar says, yes, I've heard them all from Pandora. So it's on Pandora. Excellent.
Excellent, Oscar.
Oh, nice. Thank you, Black Tree. She posted the Spotify link for the show. Excellent.
Very cool.
Not a podcast, D, a podcast.
D, what's going on with you tonight?
I know, huh? Oh, there's Cha-Cha. Hi, Cha-Cha.
Hi, Cha-Cha.
She's probably been here a long
Yeah, as I'm scrolling up, I'm seeing the red dot. Well, every once in a while.
The red dot.
The big red dot.
big red
The
dot.
commanding red dot. Her and Chris Jarvis have like the most recognizable.
Chris Jarvis.
Yeah, he's got
This
like
is-
a dragon or something.
Oh,
And,
does he?
yeah, this is it right here. I'm pointing at it. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. It's like the Volcom dragon. Yeah.
Or whatever that is. That's what it is. So, all right, guys, we love you guys. Have a great night.
Have a good night, guys. Okay. Good night, guys. Nah, Canada's my papa.
Please, for his sake, have a great night.
We'll see you guys later. I don't know. I just had I kind of felt the spirit of Cartman moving in me. So, all right, guys, love you
Like that
bunches.
cheesy poof.
Yeah, this is,
Man, I need more cheesy poofs.
I can't do
And
it
a
really good right now. All right, guys, that's it. I'm all out of fumes. I'm running on fumes here, so.
All right.
All right, guys, we love you all. Be good, be kind, be nice. Take care of each other. Help each other out. Find the magic in every day, and remember to laugh as much as you can. And I'll be back tomorrow night, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, right here on YouTube
Good
to
night.
entertain you once again. Good night, everybody. Sweet dreams.
Night.